The problem with the common molt. Hello, breeders. Welcome back to Canarals Santos Costa. Today, we're going to talk about a problem that plagues all of us, the feather molt. Has it ever happened to you that your canary's molt seems like a real torture? Feathers that won't fall out, feathers that won't grow, the bird becomes listless, it looks like it's fighting for its life? It's a nightmare. We see our champion, our animal, going through a process so stressful that it seems to have no end. Many people ask me, Santos Costa, why does my bird's molt last so long? What am I doing wrong? What I'm going to show you today is something most breeders don't know. It's the secret behind a quick, clean, and pain-free molt. If you want to see your birds with brilliant plumage, iron health, and ready for the breeding season, you need to stay with me until the end of this video. And by the way, if you're not yet a subscriber, subscribe to the channel and leave your like so you don't miss any content from breeder to breeder. Why your food mix isn't working. Most breeders make a brutal mistake during the molting season. They think the same breeding food mix works for everything. And that's a dangerous fallacy. Feather molt is not the same as breeding. They are completely different biological processes that require specific nutrition. The breeding food mix is rich in protein for growth, but the molting mix needs something more, something that most commercial mixes simply don't offer. If you've been giving the same old mix, you're forcing your bird to fight against its own body. It will spend more energy, take longer to regenerate its feathers, and the final result is a weak, dull plumage. Or worse, its health might be compromised for the next season. What I'm going to show you today will change the way you look at molting forever. The mysterious ingredient revealed. And now, the big reveal. The game-changing ingredient. It's not sprouted seeds, it's not garlic, and it's not anything you'll easily find on a pet store shelf. The missing ingredient in your molting food mix is pure salmon oil. I know what you're thinking, Santos Costa, salmon oil? Isn't that for humans? Exactly. And that's why it's so powerful. It's rich in omega-3 and 6 fatty acids, which are crucial for skin health and for growing quality feathers. I've already tested it, and the difference is brutal. Canaries that used to take 3 months to molt, with this ingredient, complete the process in just over 45 days. That's less stress time for them and more time of health and vitality for the next season. You don't need to use a lot, just a few drops. But those few drops are the difference between a painful molt and a perfect molt. The science behind the ingredient. You might be asking, but Santos Costa, why is this oil so special for molting? The answer lies in biology. Salmon oil is a concentrated source of omega-3 fatty acids, like EPA and DHA. These fatty acids are essential for the health of cell membranes. During the molt, the bird's skin needs elasticity and nourishment to support the growth of thousands of new feathers. Without proper support, the skin becomes dry, the feather follicle weakens, and the process becomes slow and painful for the bird. Omega-3 acts as a lubricant and a cellular fortifier, speeding up the follicle's renewal and ensuring that each new feather grows strong, flexible, and with the vibrant color we so desire. It improves blood circulation in the skin, which means more nutrients get to where they are most needed, at the base of the growing feather. It's science working in our favor, my friends. The right dose and ideal frequency. Now that you know the secret, the question is, how much and how often? And this is where many breeders fail due to overzealousness. The ideal dose for a 1 kilogram food mix is just 2 to 3 milliliters of salmon oil. I use a 5 milliliter syringe to measure precisely and ensure I'm not overloading the bird's bodies. And the frequency is crucial. It's enough to administer this food mix 2 to 3 times a week during the molt. It's not meant to be given every day. Giving it in excess can, ironically, cause digestion problems and fatty liver, which is what we want to avoid. Remember, molting is a natural process. Salmon oil is just a catalyst, a powerful supplement that speeds up and improves the process, not a substitute for a balanced diet. And don't forget to store the oil in the refrigerator after opening to preserve its properties. Fatal mistake when using this ingredient. There is one mistake that most breeders make, which can nullify all the benefits of salmon oil, or worse, harm your bird's health. I'm talking about administering the oil directly in the water. Water is a perfect medium for bacterial growth, and by adding an oil, you're creating an ideal environment for them to multiply. Your water dispenser can turn into a bacterial colony in just a few hours, and your bird, by drinking, can contract serious diseases. The only safe and effective way to administer this ingredient is by mixing it directly into the food mix. Remember, the oil is for nourishment, not for contamination. A small portion in the food mix ensures that each bird receives the correct dose, without risks. Real results: the before and after. I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I'm asking you to believe what your own eyes will see. I tested this method in my aviary, and the results are shocking. Before, I had birds that looked like they had come out of a war, with brittle feathers, dull colors, and the molt dragging on for months. But after adding salmon oil to the food mix, the transformation was complete. The new feathers grew with superior quality, with a shine that looks like varnish. The plumage color, especially in lipochrome canaries, became more intense and vibrant. The molt, which was a nightmare, became a fast and clean process. The bird spends less energy, recovers faster, and is ready for anything. The difference is so big that you'll see the before and after in the same bird. Alternatives if you can't find the ingredient. I know that not all of you have easy access to pure salmon oil. But don't worry, because nutritional science gives us alternatives. The best one is human-grade flaxseed oil. It's also an extremely rich source of omega-3, although the bird's body needs a little extra effort to convert it into the compounds that really matter for the feathers. Nevertheless, it's an excellent option. Another alternative, although less effective, is ground flaxseed, mixed into the food mix. The important thing is to understand the principle: the need for high-quality fatty acids. If you can't find salmon oil, look for flaxseed oil. What you can't do is ignore this fundamental nutrient and expect your canary's molt to be a quick and painless process. The complete perfect molt timeline. To ensure you don't make any mistakes, here is my breeder's timeline. 1 week before the start of the molt, begin introducing the salmon oil into the food mix, 2 to 3 times a week. This prepares the bird's body. During the molt, maintain the frequency of 2 to 3 times a week. If you notice the molt is taking too long, you can increase it to 4 times a week, but never daily. After the last feather falls, continue the food mix with the oil for another 1 or 2 weeks. This will ensure the new plumage sets well and the bird recovers all its energy. Following this timeline is your guarantee of a quick molt, with a visually stunning result, and most importantly, a healthy bird ready for the next breeding season. Your biggest question about molting, answered. And now, to close things out, the burning question. I know you have a specific question about the feather molt. Is it about color, health, the timeline? Leave your biggest difficulty, your biggest frustration with feather molting, in the comments below. I read every single comment, and your question might be the topic of my next video. Your participation is essential for the success of this channel. We're here to create a community of breeders who help each other. And don't forget, if this video was useful to you, leave a like, share it with that breeder friend of yours, and subscribe so you don't miss the next tips. A big hug and see you next time.